Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Brooklyn Fire Station 31. It's very fitting. We're here to do a bill signing, which is related to funding for crisis response. And I think it's very fitting that we're meeting in this particular station. If you know about the Safe Station program, in the county there's about 40 locations that somebody can report to a safe station. It just so happens that Station 31, this station was the very first safe station, and it's actually been 20% of everybody that's come to safe stations, about 1,300 people, have come to this fire station. So I think it's very fitting that we're doing the bill signing here. So at this time, I'd like to ask County Executive Steve Schuh to say a few words.
Thank you, Chief, and good afternoon, everybody. It's an honor to be here today as we sign into law a critical funding program for behavioral health services and for the formation of 2 new crisis response teams. And I want to take this opportunity to congratulate the Chief and all these firefighters, paramedics, EMTs for their efforts in connection with safe stations. It was Chief Graves who first conceived of this program, and it has been incredibly successful. And we recently crossed over a milestone where we have actually had more people coming into a safe station than we have had overdoses on a monthly basis. It's an incredible moment, and it may mean that we are at last starting to win the battle against heroin. Our county is a great place to live. We have great schools, great landscapes, our beautiful rivers and bay, more shoreline than any other jurisdiction in the state of Maryland, but many of our citizens face challenges. 400 chronically homeless individuals, 10,000 people who do not have the job skills to have a job and are stuck in government dependency, 70,000 people with serious mental health problems, and 25,000 people suffering from heroin and opiate addiction. The fight for improved mental health services is critical because mental health disorders are a precursor to so many other pathologies that plague our county, our state, and our country, like addiction, homelessness, suicide, violent crime, are often begun and set in motion by mental health problems. That's why it's so critical and important that every layer of government, every level of government step up in the fight for better mental health programs in our county, state, and country. We have upped our game in Arundel County. Our fiscal 2019 budget, which was enacted just this past June, continued to advance our efforts to aggressively address mental illness and addiction here in Arundel County. This year, we funded a $2 million grant to Baltimore Washington Medical Center to assist their efforts in expanding the number of beds here in the county, a $250,000 grant to Samaritan House to support their opioid treatment efforts, and a $659,000 grant in funding for 8 crisis response teams. But despite those investments, we knew we needed to do more, and that's why our administration proposed and the County Council passed supplemental post-budget funding for these 2 additional crisis response teams. One team will support our growing Safe Stations program, and the other will be assigned to the Anne Arundel County Public School System, providing crucial assistance as we work to address the growing national mental health and behavioral health crisis. As we saw this past June with the horrific tragedy at the offices of the Capital Gazette newspaper, the importance of addressing the early warning signs of mental illness can help prevent mass violence. Our mobile crisis teams are crucial to addressing many of the pathologies that plague not just Anne Arundel County, but our country as a whole. And these 2 new teams will help in our efforts to effectively address the mental well-being of every resident of Anne Arundel County. So thank you again for being here.
Good afternoon. I'm Jen Corbin. I'm the Director of Anne Arundel County Crisis Response. And I want to thank the county exec and the county for understanding the need that's kind of come about in the last year. Just to give you an idea, in the last week, we had 40 safe stations, the highest number in 1 week. Over the weekend, we had 20 people from Friday to Sunday come into a fire station looking for help. So this is going to really help us make sure that people get linked to treatment. But I think the other initiative that's so important is our school system and making sure that we're responding appropriately to young people in crisis in the schools and helping those schools make sure that kids at a young age are also linked to the treatment that they need. And this is going to allow us to insert a team during school hours to help those schools that are having individual behavioral crisis and allow them to get back to teaching so that we can help those families connect to treatment. So I think this is really going to be an important step in our county to just show how much need there is and what we can do to be more on a preventative side to assist people early on in a crisis situation. Thank you.
We are signed.